Hello, friends. Today's subject is Face the Music. Face the music meaning your own wonderful human imagination knows no words of negation. Try as you might, you will find your best effort is for naught. The God that is your mind only hears the subject you continue to shout or scream no to. Words like no, don't, or not are ignored by your human divinity. Therefore, you must, so to speak, face the music and dance to which you've placed the needle on the record to play. Let us hear today's message.
Even as human gods, it can be extremely difficult taking responsibility for everything we've created. So many times in the past, I have point-blank been in denial about some travesty I've created and given birth to. However, as you grow in human divinity, when you know better, you do better. It's all about learning and honing our creative skills and abilities at the end of the day. As you sharpen this craft, you will learn the hard way, as I have to be very careful and learn to walk on eggshells to prevent the creation train from running off the rails with unbridled brute force. At first, it seemed I was given a grace period, training wheels if you will, but now the gloves are off, and it's on me to take the reins of what can sometimes easily spin completely out of control. When and if this happens, we must face the music and own what we've created lock, stock, and barrel. As you guys know, I've been a songwriter for over 30 years. What you don't know is how my grandfather basically cast a spell on my music career, which still has me by the balls to this very day. At 14, I told my grandpa George what I wanted to do with my life. I told him I wanted to sing, perform, and that I wrote songs like Michael and Janet Jackson. My grandfather, a self-made multimillionaire who owned his own cleaning business for over 60 years, suggested that I do country western music instead of pop and R&B. I initially thought he was kidding. My grandpa replied, "No, I'm very serious. You should do country western music. You live right here in Nashville, and you have a gimmick that could help you stand out, given you're a young black kid from humble beginnings." When we had this conversation in 1992, I was 14 years old, and I looked and dressed just like the black R&B stars of that time. My grandpa said, "If you really want to make it big and stand out, don't do what everyone else is doing. Be different. Look like an R&B star, but sing country western music." My grandpa looked at me with stars in his eyes and said for me to mark his words, and that this was the way to go. At this point, I'm literally holding my stomach laughing. Me? Country? Get the hell out of here. I thought the idea was ridiculous, and plus, I had plans to take over the music world, being the next Michael Jackson, not Garth Brooks. My mother, brother, and grandmother commented that the idea was crazy and that my grandpa was off his rocker. For the next 18 years, I tried to make it in the music business without any luck. In those same 18 years, my grandpa said repeatedly I should have listened to him and did country western music. I for the umpteenth time shouted to him, "I'm never ever 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 doing country music, ever. It's corny and black people don't sing country. I will not do it. I do not want to do it. Please stop saying it. It's never gonna happen. Ever. Never, ever." My grandpa, refusing to be outdone, still insisted I do country music, regardless to what I said and what I wanted. In 2009, I learned Sony ATV wanted to buy the rights of 2 songs I wrote and recorded as demos in 2006. These songs weren't my best work, and one of the songs wasn't even completed. Long story short, I received my first big break into the music industry in 2010. I sold the rights to the 2 songs to Sony ATV for $200,000, which was the most money I'd ever seen at that time. I was so proud of myself. Nashville is the songwriting capital of the music business, specializing in country music, of course. Stubborn to a fault, with this official forte into the business as a paid songwriter, I set my sights on Atlanta, a huge hub for R&B music, which of course didn't work out and went absolutely nowhere. As it turned out, one of the songs I sold the rights to was used on a huge country album, which went on to win a Grammy. After a music publishing legal battle, on a technicality, I wound up not only getting the rights of ownership back, for which I earned tens of thousands annually, I was also awarded a Grammy Award for songwriting for the country album my song was featured on. When my Grammy came in the mail, my award recognition letter stated that I was officially one of 3 black men to ever be awarded a Grammy in the genre of country music in the history of the Academy. That's Charlie Pride, Darius Rucker, and of course me. That's when it hit me. My own godhood has slow-walked me down to country music over the course of nearly 30 years. The song I wrote and sold was R&B, but was turned into country. Now I also had a Grammy Award in country music too. Also, my very first job at 17 years old was at a country music theme park here in Nashville called Opryland. I hated working there because of the non-stop country hoedown music that was constantly played. I only worked at Opryland for 4 days and quit because it was just too country and corny for me. I thought I was way too cool to be working there. However, Creation had decided it was going to teach me an even bigger lesson. The executive who ultimately gave me my big break in songwriting helped me to get the day job I've had in country music publishing for the past 11 years. I literally work in the country music business in publishing. Not to mention before COVID, the satellite business office I worked in for 7 years was located directly across the street from the historic Opryland Hotel, which used to be right next to the Opryland theme park before it closed, and was replaced by the Opry Mills Outlet Mall. So, my claim to fame thus far in music and songwriting has solely been in country music. I even won a Grammy in the very genre of music I laughed at and railed against and swore I'd never have anything to do with. My grandpa saw it, and he called it in 1992. And to this day, still wants me to make a country album. Now he brags that I'm successful in country music because of him, which is completely true. He also said recently, I let Beyoncé beat me to country music and the Grand Ole Opry since her next album will be country. My grandpa used his own wonderful human imagination to forge me into the country music industry, and my screaming no and not helped build the bridge of many incidents to carry me to where I am today in my career. Guys, let this be a somewhat cautionary tale of what you resist and scream no to, because the very thing you're passionately against has a way of coming straight at you like a runaway freight train. There's no stopping it. Even though things turned out great for me, it didn't necessarily have to. I'm very good at creation, but I'm still extremely careful at the same time. Right now, I want to shout out a new subscriber, Jacomina Hofmeister. Hope I pronounced that correctly. She inspired this video by commenting she'd like to hear me cover Neville Goddard's Not method. I hope you enjoyed this video made in part by you, Jacomina. I also want to say thanks to all the new and old subscribers. Y'all are literally taking the Impudent Demigod channel to the next level. So please everyone keep on listening and keep on subscribing. You guys are the best. Until next time, peace.